You guys have been asking for it, and after 300 plus hours of playing the game and demo, I have finally gathered the data to give you the best AI teammates. Even with that much playtime, I didn't have enough time to test all AI units, so I will be borrowing some data from Blatike over on Reddit. Apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. They also did their own testing, so go over there and show them some love by leaving an upvote. Here's the tier list for those who just want it. Now, how did I get to these ratings? This tier list is based on how well the AI performed and will consistently do well to help you clear content the fastest. You may have some variance as they are not 100% consistent and are based on your performance. So if you're doing bad, they'll do bad, and vice versa. So get good so you see the full potential of the AIs, and with that out the way, let's get into this, yeah? We'll start off with Gran and Djeeta. They have to be in your party for the story, but after you're finished, you could kick them out. I wouldn't do so since the captain is very flexible. Depending on which character you're playing will determine what you want on them. I suggest Armor Break as the defense down lets you hit the damage cap easier, and also works as a gap closer for them when they have to do mechanics. The rest is up to you as they have so many tools to pick from. I'd go with Clarity or Panacea for a heal, Overdrive Surge to fill that stun bar quicker, and Flanks. Captain easily gets the A rank for the flexibility, but can't go any higher since their damage isn't that good. Going down the list, Katalina's up next. Her kit is too complex for the AI to consistently use efficiently, so going with safe options will give the best results. Heal for obvious reasons, Enchanted Lance so they could keep uptime, Azure Sword lets her get her Ares out quicker, and Light Wall. Like I said, she has variance, but when she lands those AoE invincibility, you feel the power. I unfortunately have to give Katalina a B rank because she's way too inconsistent, and the point of this tier list is for consistency. Rackam is up next. While he is great when we, the humans, control him, I can't say the same for the AI. They do not perfectly time his burst fires or even bullseye blast where most of his damage comes from. If you really insist on using him, then equip Bullet Hail for the AoE, Coffin Maker for damage, Spitfire for defense down, and Double Tap so they could do more damage from their basic attacks. The rest aren't used wisely, like collateral damage putting him at low HP when he could just dodge the hit, or duration being used when nothing's happening. In the end, I can't put Rackam any higher as I know how well he can do, and the AI just puts him to shame, giving him the lowest rating, a C. Rackam's favorite victim is next, Io. She comes with an AoE heal, crowd control with her lightning, and good DPS with fire and freeze, if we were controlling her. Io was the first AI that I use, and I noticed she just tunnel visions on her charge attacks no matter what. This usually leads them into taking unnecessary damage or straight up dying. They're actually good at dodging, but for some reason when they have a charge attack part of their kit, they just lose all brain cells, making Flowery 7 a suicide button as they don't activate it after a quick cast and they just sit there hard casting it for 7 seconds. She's my favorite DPS, but I unfortunately have to give her the C tier. Eugen the Veteran is up next, and the time on the battlefield shows. Not only is the highest DPS in the player's hand, but also under the AI's control. This man is such a professional that I sometimes felt like a human was playing him. He does good damage almost every run. The only weird part about him is his paralyzing shot comes early, when you'd rather have that at vital spots like an overdrive. Outside of that, he felt really good with Healing Bullet, Disruptor, and some rack. Eugen is the first character to get the S rank. Mommy Milkers are next. Rosetta is amazing. The AI juggles her combo buffs to have a 100% uptime with the attack, defense, and regen buff. She can even apply damage cut with Rose Barrier, making her a fantastic support, and her plants do good DPS. I thought the AI would have issues with the plant uptime, but Rose Tycoon fixes that problem. I highly recommend using her if you haven't yet, as she's our second S rank unit. Our little princess is next, Charlotta. She's actually pretty good for an AI. Since they're good at dodging, she rarely has to do a combo finisher, meaning she stays in noble stance, which is optimal. Sword of Lumiel is her best damaging skill, while Holy Ladder and Shining Onslaught act as a gap closer. Panini Shed is a 50% damage cut, which is invaluable, especially when learning new fights. Charlotta is our second A rank unit. Going down the list is Ghandagoza. I didn't have time to test this AI extensively like the others, so I'll be referring to Blatike's info. I used him in the demo and he did well with Infernal Stomp being a really strong slow. However, in the main game I noticed a lot of bosses not being as affected by its full duration versus freeze or stun. Iron Shoulder is a gap closer which is very good for his slow moving self, Skybreaker for raw damage, and True Avidia for an attack buff for the entire party. If the unit you're controlling already has an attack buff, then try using Branding Palm. Blatike says sometimes the AI uses Infernal Rage even though they have full stacks, essentially wasting the skill. I'll be going with them and giving him the C rank since our data seems to match up for the most part. Furries unite as Ferry's up next. If you've been around the channel, you may have noticed that she's been a part of a lot of my kill videos, and there's a good reason for that. The AI pilots her really well that the bosses usually have a near 100% uptime of attack and defense down, which severely helps out when progressing the fight under geared. Purge Spirit helps build the stun bar so you can easily link attack. The rest are used well, with Heinrichten only being used for full value, which is better than most humans I came across in online play. Ferry easily gets the S rank. Everyone's favorite, or least favorite, is up next. Narmaya! I mained her for all the quests, so when I gave the AI control, I couldn't help but cringe a little, seeing them slowly charge up a Setsuna without any butterflies, or slowly charging a Dawnfly Cleave. These are the skills I had on mine, which did do good burst when she used the kit properly, but on average she doesn't, which gives her the C tier. The underdog of the roster, Lancelot. While the community rates him low, I see a lot of potential in him. Unfortunately, the AI doesn't do him justice as they do not loop his basic attacks like Charlotta, and he sometimes just resets even though the skills I provide for him should avoid this problem. Just like the other AIs with hard control, he tends to freeze randomly, but it's freeze so I'm not gonna beat him in the head. Overall, he's just mad like most people using him, so he gets the C rank. The Chad of the game is up next, Vane. He has an amazing kit and is very strong. Unfortunately, the AI makes this guy look like a noob. His insanely strong Rampart is so poorly used that I sometimes just have to look and wonder what's going on with the coding. He fully stands there until the duration's over, even though the boss may be broken or being juggled by Skybound arts. When used properly, his Armor Destruction fills the stun bar quickly, and he could easily abuse Energy Destruction if you don't Skybound arts. The AI dodges when they could just time his unique attack to block and keep up the offense, which is the whole reason you play Vane. Vane's another character I have to sadly give the C rank, because the AI just isn't coded to play him properly.
Oh no, he's hot!
That's right, Squidward, Percival's up next. Easily one of the highest damage dealers in the game, and the AI actually utilizes his skills well. I'm not gonna even attempt to say these skill names, so just look on screen. These are what I used, and he did really well. He's the second unit I used that felt like a human was playing him, which easily gives him the S rank. The iconic Siegfried is up next. This dude surprised me with his insane kit. Mirage is a 70% defense buff, and is often up for bloodthirsts, which makes them a joke. Salvator shares a similar cooldown which negates those pesky debuffs, and he uses Ooh and Nelha well. I felt like a noob sometimes playing with him, as he charges the Skybound arts faster than anyone I've seen. Another Chad that easily gets the S rank. The young looking girl that's actually 1,000 years old is up next. Cagliostro is the only unit in the game besides the captain to have a raise as a patch 1.04. She does a good job on using it to save yourself a raise potion, but if you have auto revive, the AI isn't programmed to realize this and wastes this skill and puts it on cooldown. For this, I just run one of her other fantastic skills if you're using auto revive like me. Phantasmagoria is the only crit buff in the game, which also provides attack and defense down, and a stack with other buffs in the game, which makes her a really strong support. Pain Train so she could get into melee range and start her combos, and Disruption because who doesn't love stripping a buff the enemy just put on themselves. Cagliostro is another unit you can see a lot in my videos, and she easily gets the S rank. Pops just wants to fish, so I'll make this quick. While he does have the best defensive buff in the game, the AI makes you think otherwise, as he often uses it before he has 3 shrouds, which only applies to himself instead of the whole party. Since they use skills on cooldown, the AI doesn't generate enough shrouds, which leads Yodarha to output low damage, which is the only other role since he has nothing else in his skills to support the team. He'll be swimming with the fishes with the C rank. Death from above comes Zeta. Our aerial specialist can deal insane damage, but it's not consistent, just like her stun from Wing Clipper. She actually can parry any attack with just her unique attack, but the AI is programmed to dodge instead. She feels just like Vane, as she has such a unique kit, but the AI isn't programmed to utilize it. For this reason, I have to give her the B rank. Sight Enjoyers Rejoice as Vasaraga's here. He's another character I hardly got time to test, so we'll be referring to Blatike's info. The AI seems to play dumb when they have the Stout Heart buff active by forgetting they can dodge. This leads them to taking unnecessary damage, if not straight up dying. Like other melees, he struggles with mobile bosses, especially with his slow movement speed. He does do good damage when the enemy is stationary, but others can do so as well, without the downside he brings, giving him the C rank. Last but not least, Id. He's another character I just didn't have time to test, so we'll be referring to Blatike's take. With what was said about Vaseraga stands true here, as his dragon mode gives him a permanent Stout Heart for the duration, which makes him completely dumb. Outside of that, he does do good damage and can slow with Arcadia. I'm gonna give him a C rank because I'm playing with the AI so I could clear content and not babysit them. Hopefully now you know which AI to use, and if there's any unanswered questions, then ask down below. Don't forget to go leave an upvote for Blatike's pose, and if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out this one right here. Until the next video, I'll see ya.